um, is just give a little overview about myself and my experience with Buffini, because I've been in the business a really long time, like 34 years. And I've seen a lot of ups and downs. My very first trainers were Daniel Kennedy and Tommy Hopkins, which, you have to be practically retired to even know who they are. And I've been a Tom Ferry mentor and Keller Williams University instructor also. So I have a lot of different trainers and experience with that. And I've found that there's really not a huge amount of difference in the statistics and the rate of response when you are in relationship with people. And what I found, and so Buffini, I started this about 3 years ago, and just really focusing on the relationship made business easier because I don't like cold calling. And I would rather build relationships really deep than a lot of really shallow, wide, so that I really don't like cold calling at all. And that's one of the things I love about this program. But being all together is all about the relationship. Whether or not you continue as a member forever, which I do because I love the resources and I don't have to rethink anything, but just focusing on the people instead of the transaction makes this business fun. And so even after 34, 35 years in the business, I love doing this, and it doesn't matter whether it is my first day or my 35th year, every bit. There's always nuggets every day. So it's great to have you here. And I see Olivia is signed on here. And then we'll see, I'm not sure, I think David might have had something going on. We'll see if David can join us this morning. But that's the nice thing about this course is that we are recording these. And so everything that we have here is going to be available. But so I'm glad you're here, Ray. Olivia is here too. So now Joanne she just did her introduction. She's been in the business for about 4 years and just really, oh, good, there's David. So just to recap, Joanne she shared that she's been in the business for about 4 years and she has her database and she's got some business. So it'll be really great to hear how you put these things in place in your business that you already have established. Now, let's hear from Ray, how long you've been in the business and what industry you come from, and then we'll go to Olivia and David just to make sure we all know each other.
Okay. Yeah, I'm new. I've been in the business since January, and it's going well so far. I'm part of Heidi's Greer Group team now, so getting a lot of one-on-one coaching, which is great. I just had my very first closing about a week and a half ago. I'm very excited about that. And working on some things now. But I come from the restaurant business. I was in the restaurant business for about, I guess about 12 years. And then I started as a busser for BJ's restaurant, and I ended up as a general manager. And then I thought, I don't want to go any further. I've hit my goal, time to move on. And so I ran my own videography business, filming and editing wedding videos for about 10 years after that. And then I stopped doing that before COVID happened. I was kind of like a little bit lost. Then I had a couple great real estate experiences with selling or buying a house. And I thought, and I also saw how strong the real estate was going when COVID first started. And I was like, this is where I need to be. I need to do this. This business isn't falling at all. It seems to be doing really well. So I started, I was in California. I've been in Colorado since 2006, but went back to California for a year and a half. And I started my training knowing I was coming back to Colorado while I was in California. And I just did it all online because that's what everything was doing anyways. We moved here and we were living in our camper for about 30 to 35 days or so before our house was ready. And I was just studying in the camper every day. And I finally took my test in early January.
Awesome. Well, Ray, we're glad to have you and super happy to have you as part of this class. And your experience in the restaurant business and then owning your own videography business, you've got some skills there in building a business and just serving people. So that's a huge part of what we do. So Olivia, if you would share your history and how long you've been in the business.
Sure. Sorry if it's I'm in the car. I'm almost home. So
you're good. Thanks for being here.
My background is, so I've been in the business since September of last year with Remax since February. My background's in commercial real estate. So I did manage the global real estate portfolios for mostly companies in Silicon Valley and San Francisco. My husband, Eric, and I moved out here when was it? August of 2019. So we're coming on 2 years. And I was laid off in November of 2019. And decided to just wanted to try something of my own, was kind of sick of working in corporate America. And yeah, got into the residential space.
Well, Olivia also didn't mention, she has a podcast, Talk Real Estate to Me. It's awesome. So she's launching that, and I can't wait to see what you do with that. I really think that that's something that could go viral and be a really good business.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Awesome things. So welcome. We're excited to have you. And David, your turn.
All right. Well, yeah, I been in the real estate business with Remax since November. I did property management as an unlicensed assistant for 1.5 years with Highland Realty. And before that, I was in retail management for many years. So I get customer service, and I get the cogs of management. But yes, I definitely have been excited to be doing real estate and getting to basically shake hands and be excited about the earnings that we make and the people we get to help and the people we get to meet. I think that's been really fun and exciting. So look forward to growing my career here and getting going in big ways. So,
well, I tell you, there is just one secret to success in real estate, and I'll tell you what it is right now, and it is don't quit.
Don't quit.
If it doesn't work, try something else, and you're learning, the best things that do work. So it's great to follow models that people have already proven, and then be creative and bring your own personality and experience to the transaction, because people are looking for an experience, not just a transaction. Anybody can just help somebody through the paperwork, like an attorney, but they don't bring the experience. So this week we have the 2 sessions, and so this is our second meeting of the first week, and I'm going to send out the recordings afterwards, so you can always go back and kind of revisit what we've been talking about. So today, though, we're going to be talking about creating a vibrant database, and vibrant meaning that it's active, right? It's not just a list. And so when you were listening to this, if you had an opportunity, did you notice how it really is so much more than just a spreadsheet to keep your names in? It really is. And if you get in there and you look at, through the CRM, and I'm trying to do this better every day, because even with the years I've had in the business, I see that I have a lot of room for improvement. You can go in there and read about their hobbies, and so all of the conversations when you're having with people, if you're entering that information, it gives you that opportunity to really be personal and build that relationship. And his CRM is very robust that way. It allows you to enter a lot of information. And not only can you put them in, the A+, the A's, the B's, the C's. Now they've added the O's for the online leads, because those people are 3% conversion. You don't really want to do much with them yet. And then the D's. So the cool thing about the D's is that you can put them in D, but they're not even deleted. And you know what? You can go back to your deleted and grab them out of there too. And I had somebody that I did that with. I deleted them because they sold their house with another person. And she was older. She moved in with her family. I figured that was pretty much the end of that. She was one of Mom's clients for a while, but then she called and she doesn't like living in the family house and wants to buy a house and didn't want to use the agent that she sold through. So I pulled her back out of the D's, out of the deleted file, and I put her back in. But you can also go in then within those individual A+, within those you can put them in groups. And so You can have a group like, any kind of a group. So we have a group that is, people that have used other agents that we don't want to lose contact with. And so you can have a group. So maybe you have something special you send to those people. The nice thing that you can do with this program is you can specialize it. There's no limit to the amount of groups you can put all of these people in. So you see A plus A, B, C, the O and the D, that's just the level of your relationship, not necessarily what their interests are and those types of things. So that it grows even bigger. And I'm just starting to really get that done with the database I have of about 200 people. So did you see how he said it's the heart of your business and your CRM? And I've always called it like the foundation. You can't build your house without a foundation. And it truly is. If you're going to sell your business later, you want to have something strong that you can show that has value time over time. And Steve Murray with Real Trends, that's what his business is selling real estate companies and real estate businesses. And he values a business as 12 times the 4 times the trailing 12 months profit. So let's say you had a profit in your business of 100,000 in the previous 12 months, then your base of business would be worth $400,000 based on his formula. And so the way that your business is valued is the robust value of your data. And so the CRM is more than just something that you maintain to build your own business. It really is the heart of your business and it has value later. And there are lots of people that I could give you examples of people that have been able to sell their business and actually, retain some income later. So that's kind of cool. What about the memory joggers? How do you feel about the number of people you have in your database right now?
Well, after seeing what he talked about, relationships to the C and the O and the B, I feel like I have a lot of A plus and A's now and a few C's. I also got to thinking more about like, okay, these are more farm people than personal relationship people. And so back to your point about trying to group things and group areas, I have pretty much split mine down quite a bit. So I need to do some adding in the A areas and the B's areas. So.
And so what his goal is for this course is that you get to 100 people in your first 100 days. And how are you on that? Do any of you have a good 100 qualified people? And let me tell you that I have 200 people in my database and I do not have 100 qualified people. That is a goal that I have at the end of this 100 days as well. But we do a good amount of business, just so you know. I mean, when you get this done and you build these relationships, that Pareto principle is true. If you're spending your time on the 20%, that's where 80% of your income is coming from. So.
Sure.
Heidi, I have a question.
Yeah.
So when I was doing this with I've been using Top Producer and I have when I first started, I threw everybody in that.
Yeah.
So it really kind of forced me to go through and look at each individual person. But I have my pipeline. I have people that I still stay in touch with. It may be a year down the road. Some of them come from an open house. Some of them are online leads that I've communicated with. Where do I put them? That was the one thing I was trying to figure out in this when I was putting it in.
I have a lot of those kind of people too. And so what I've put them in is if they know me, like me, and I could call them and they would know who I am and that whether we've done business or not, I put them as a B. A C is just what they are when you just stick them in there. A B, they really don't know to refer you or anything yet, but you could convert them. So they're like a B.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And another thing, I put agents because I have agents are a great database. So I actually have local agents kind of in a D category because I don't want to send them my mail outs every month unless they're like maybe want them and if they're further away. But I have local people too. So agents, there's a category now for agents, but I put them as a D. So I'm not sending them my monthly email, but I can pull them all up as a group of agents and send them things monthly, put them on a plan that way. So
When I was in there last night, it didn't give me the option of O. Is that to come?
I haven't seen the O, but it's a group. So if you go into manage groups,
Uh-huh.
then you can see and you can add all the names to that group. That's how you have to add them to the group.
Okay.
And that's the only way I've figured it out so far is manage groups. You have to have the name in and then you go manage groups and add the people.
Okay. Gotcha.
So what I found is that I made a list of about 5 people that I need to talk to just listening to this module after 35 years. So I just want you to know there is never a time when we got this, when we totally have it, we can always grow. And some of your dialogues and things will change and your systems just get better over time. And the improvement is fun, actually. So the action steps are the most important this week is the database. So they've got a ton of resources here. And just so the CRM tutorials that they have the complete tour of the CRM, importing the database and setting up your letterhead and your signatures and uploading the contacts and all of those things. I have found it to be really, really user-friendly. And also, if you have any problems at all, they are so quick at responding if you run into an issue over there at Buffini. And I'll tell you a good example of that, Ray. It was because we had our first class on Tuesday and it was Monday afternoon and Ray's like, hey, I can't see the videos. And so I got in touch with Buffini. I sent her a quick text and I said, Ray can't see the videos. And she said, well, none of your students can yet. I'll fix it. Let me fix it right now. And she did, just like that. So if you have a problem, they're super responsive. And then another thing that you might have noticed is they're coming to town. If you've gotten the email, they're actually going to be in town. There's a mastery event on the 24th. There's a networking event that night. And the 25th is an all-day event. And I've always gone every time I can. There's a ton of value. And they usually have some good giveaways and fun stuff there too. So if you can go, it's going to be out at the Gaylord. And if you've not done anything at the Gaylord, I've only been out there one time before COVID, and then I didn't get to go again. So this is June, I think. So I think by then, pretty much, we should be good to go. We'll have to wear our masks, but I'm going. I don't care if there's 100 people or 200, I'm going.
Heidi, where can we find that information?
You know what? It is in your email, but I will email you, all of you, the link that Eric sent me yesterday. So I'll do that when we're done here so that you have the opportunity to do that. I have no idea what the pricing is on it, and because we're coaching members, and so you go to free to all those things. We joined the coaching, so we have our first coaching call this month. So we're excited about that. But I will send you the link for the Mastery Day. That's what it's called, Mastery Day. So have you had a chance to get into the system and look at the resources? There's a lot of things in there for you. And just, and it continues to be. If you search in there, you'll find more than there is just for right now. But the hidden sources of wealth is another great way to help you build your database with people that you might not have thought about with that memory jogger. That's the biggest thing, this database. I mean, and it's homework for the week, but if you get it done this week, well, hats off to you, because I'm still working on mine for this many years. It really is never changed. And Joanne, you mentioned Top Producer. I used Top Producer, I was since 1993, and I switched over to Buffini 3 years ago.
So far, I like this better. I've been trying to ditch Top Producer, but I haven't found a really good replacement. Yeah. But I agree. This is really user-friendly. It's very well laid out. So I'm hoping this is the one.
I think it's really growing too. And, Buffini is in a new partnership with Remax also as a preferred trainer versus it used to be Tom Ferry, but it's Buffini now. And, you know, Buffini's CRM is supposed to be really adaptable. And so Booz should be able at some point to mesh with the Buffini
Oh, that'd
CRM.
be nice.
I do believe they will eventually, but I don't use Booz yet because, well, I'm
Same.
not going to until it talks to Buffini. You can only use so many, right? So the 80-20 rule, this is the most important thing, I think, in actually qualifying your people. And that's why I have so many people in my database that aren't qualified yet, is because I got so busy when I was qualifying and I was calling my favorite people first, of course. And I got really busy. And so I have a ton of people that I still need to qualify that are like people that we moved over from my parents' business and things like that. But when you're doing this, you're going to get busy. So that's why you want to start with your favorite people, because that's where you're going to get 80% of your money. But keep working on it. It's something that you revisit. If you've called all your A's, A pluses, then call your A's, and then, you know, start calling your B's. And the script is not hard. You know, it seems like, you know, calling and asking somebody if it, you know, and asking for their business seems like a hard thing to do. But if you call and you're just talking to them about relationship, about their family, like Ford, you know, family, occupation, recreation, dreams, just having that real conversation with somebody. And then you just say, oh, and by the way, you know, if you do have a real estate need, or somebody you run into has a real estate need, do you have somebody that you're referring? And if they say no, they say, great, I'd love to be that person. If they say yes, you say, you know, that's really important, because referral business is so, you know, key to our success. And so is this person, do they do all of their business in a certain area? Do you have somebody specific to, and then you might say Fort Collins or Arvada or Westminster, because that's another thing that you can put out there. Could I be your referral resource for Broomfield? Or, you know, because you never know. When you're asking that question, do you have somebody you refer to? It might not even be in your area. So you can go a little deeper, but it also works like if you're in a restaurant or something where you want to ask and you're just having a conversation with somebody, like Jamie was with the lady at the ball game, and just like and by the way, if you had a real estate need or ran into somebody, do you have somebody that you refer? And then you know, it's really not a hard question, because if they say yes, I do, they're not saying no, I would never refer you. There's no rejection. So it makes it really great. And you might even know their agent and be able to say something, you know, positive. I would never say anything negative. Of course, oh, that person's a jerk, you should refer me instead. That's what you're thinking, but no, I'm just kidding. So database goals, level 1 is having 100 people in your database. Level 2 is having 100 A's in your database. Can you imagine your business with 100 A's in your database? I mean, that's crazy. When you think about this, the statistics are for every 12 people, you're going to have a closing every year. So if you have 100 of those in your database, you're for sure going to have $100,000 income, right? For sure. So the numbers work. And it's funny because I was going through my drawers in the office because I'm not managing anymore. So I'm cleaning out my stuff, and I was looking at my production reports for back like in 2000, 2001. And I'm like, man, I was kicking it. I was closing 15, 20 deals a year. I'm doing that now. That's a good income, right? So it's not that the things change, but the fun part is looking at the people that I did this business with. Okay, that's really the thing. So I've always kept in touch with my people. And so I look at the people that I closed in 2001, and I can honestly say that 3 of these people are my current clients from 2001. And so this CRM, it works. You just grow it, and you want to figure that you'll probably lose about 10% a year. That's pretty normal. People, they move away, they marry realtors, some of them even become realtors. And so they figure you'll lose about 10% a year. So you always have to grow, but you want to get to that point and you're consistent, and you're not always having to constantly think about growing your business because the referrals are coming. And that's such a nice feeling. It takes a couple years of really working the system. But like Joanne, you said, most of your business comes from referral. And that's the way we want it, right? So much easier to walk into an appointment when you've been referred than when you're the person that answered the floor time call, or even when you meet somebody in an open house, you have the opportunity to build rapport. But those online leads, those are really hard, because you're walking in and they don't know you from Adam, and they don't care about you from Adam or anything. So those are hard.
Heidi,
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, when I was doing my wedding videography business, I busted my butt so hard for those first like 5 years. And then it was almost entirely referral. I was doing 30 weddings a year just on referrals.
Well,
And it was
that's the
almost all
same
in the
thing.
summer. Yeah.
And so hopefully those people are all in your database. Right.
Some of them are, for sure. Yeah.
Well, yeah, for sure. And even if they're not here, like California, if a lot of them are there, that's an out of town database. Those people know people that move too. Remember the 285 people, they're not local. That may be a few of them, but those people know people. The most recent referral I had was from Austin, from an agent in New York. So the agent in New York referred the people in Austin moving here. And so you never know where you're going to get your business. So build those relationships. And I always say, every single time you go somewhere, if you're on vacation or whatever, take the opportunity. When you see a real estate office, preferably Remax, because they're everywhere. But even if they're not, find someone, go in that office, introduce yourself, trade cards, and add them to your remote agent database. You'll get referrals. You for sure will. Ellen, gosh, I mean, there are people that I get stuff like Kathy Burr all the time. Get stuff from her. So it's really a source that is I think underappreciated, let's say, are your agent referrals, because they can be just as good as your people referrals, because they know how you do business and if you're good or not. So so it's a big deal. It's a big deal to go in and qualify these people. And so this next week and the homework is pretty it's pretty hard. So I just think that, take a bite. It's it's like eating the frog. Don't call the hardest people all day long. Maybe call your favorite people and one hard person every day, because it's hard. And if there's somebody that, you're apprehensive in talking to, just, and all of us have those people. Like I've got people I haven't talked to in years. I've got people of mom and dads that I have to call and see if they even know who I am, even though I've introduced myself so many times. But those are hard conversations. But then there's the conversations that, the people that like you, love you, and make sure and do a couple of those every day too, because they lift you up. And the podcasts are great. Have you had a chance to get in and listen to any of the Buffini podcasts? Well, they're fun. So on your app, so with the Referral Maker app, you get on your phone, when you go in, it looks like you can't see that at all, like this. So, and then you go to your little hamburger menu, and it's got podcasts, and it's like this, and you can go in and you can choose. He's got all of them on here, and some of them are just amazing. And so when I like to listen to them in the car, or when I'm, on my walks and stuff like that. But I can tell you that every little podcast I listen to has a little nugget of something good. So, and watch for Olivia's podcast too, because her nuggets are really awesome too. Nice job. Anybody, any comments, any ahas from this whole building the relationship part of building a vibrant database?
I think, you and I have spoken one-on-one about my focus, and there's a whole thing about using the database to help you focus your day. And I have to find the page, but well, it doesn't matter. There's like 5 pages.
Well, it has
but
your daily
essentially,
to-dos.
it gives me, it gives me something very specific to do and who to focus on. I think I was having trouble. I was thinking, okay, well, my friend Scott, he's like an A+. He'll refer me hands down. I don't need to work on him that much, but it seems like that's really, I mean, I just need to make sure that he's referring. I think while he would use me, I don't know if he would refer me very easily. So I think there's that. And I'm thinking, well, what about these guys further down the list? And you know, he did say, you may just be, using up some energy on people that probably aren't going to refer you. So just focus on those A's and maybe some of those C's. But I think I've been confused on where to focus my energy, and I'm a little clearer now, I would say.
That's awesome. Because, it is energy, and it takes a lot of energy to do the prospecting. That is the most difficult part of our job, but that is the job, really. And so when you realize that you're going to get results from 20% of those people, focusing on them to get your results, it makes it a lot easier. And it's funny. So be sure to download the app and get the Referral Maker app, because it will help you. So today, just on what I've had on the app, so my podcast came in for today. And so I'll listen to that. But the other thing that happened when I opened up the app is it said referral or pop-by opportunity. So wherever you are, it'll tell you like, oh, so-and-so is nearby, and you can just pop by. So try to keep a few extra pop-bys in your car, because you never know when you might be able to pop one by. And you always have extras. Now, if you're doing like what we are this month and they're plants, you probably don't want to keep them in your car too long. They'll be dead.
Yeah. Heidi,
Yeah.
so I signed up for the first app last summer because I like that just quick reference. In the morning, it's like, okay, I can pull up and see real quick who I need to stay in touch with and contact. So the Referral Maker app could do the same thing.
Well, we have first.io as well. And so Referral Maker is based on, it knows where people are, their location. So geographically, it tells you. And then it knows like people that have been in, because if you're keeping notes and you're rating people as the A pluses and the A's, it's going to remind you to get in touch with them.
Okay.
But it doesn't do it. We have first.io as well. First.io does tell you who is more active. And so sometimes we'll go in, we'll look at who Buffini is saying to call, which is always the A's and the A pluses. But if we see a B or a C that is looking right at real estate, we call them. And we say, and just like a regular call, but we put them first. And that would be nice when Buffini, and I'm sure one day they will have that artificial intelligence.
Where you could bring the two together.
Yeah. But we use the two in conjunction.
Okay.
And another one that we use is Been Verified. Have you ever tried that? BeenVerified.com. It doesn't require a contract, but you can look people up. You can find phone numbers, addresses, social, emails, and stuff like that. And it's pretty accurate, not all the time, but pretty good. And it's only like $27 a month. So if you find one person and you get a deal from it, it's paid for life.
Yeah.
I use that Ben Verified after you suggested it to me. I got all the information of the current people I wanted, and I canceled it before I had to pay a bill again.
Good deal.
If I need it again, I'll go back. But I just did it for that. I did it for that 1 month. I think is all I did it.
Yeah, sure. And so that it's a good value to do. I keep it all the time though, in case anybody ever needs to look anything up. I have it all the time. Well, honestly, I think that the main thing this week is the CRM. I think everybody's already got your you're already NAR members, your realtors. You have business cards. Everybody has a laptop or something that they're working on. And I have a laptop. I don't really like working on a tablet, but my husband does. I don't know what you prefer. The tablet to me it's almost like a mobile device, but if you're an Apple person, I think that's great because he's an Apple person and I'm a PC person. So that it's almost like being a Democrat and Republican in the same house, but Apple and Microsoft, but we've used them both. So anyway, as long as you've got something that works for you and the unlimited data, you're going to need a lot of data on your phone and pictures. You take a lot of pictures. Because when you go on listing appointments, you're not necessarily using those pictures, of course, for your tours and stuff. But when you go to put your listing in and you're like, did that room have a ceiling fan? Or yeah, it's great to have pictures. So practice your mayor campaign, right? That's the one. See if you can practice on some real people. I'm going to. That's my goal this week, is to qualify at least 10 more people in my database. So get there. How about you guys? You feel good to go over the
Yeah, I
weekend?
feel focused on qualifying as well.
Awesome. Next week is going to be fun. So it's how to stay in contact. So we're going to go through the value items and the e-reports. And yesterday's this month's e-report I just sent out was really cool. It was 8 different ways to remodel your outdoor space or whatever, and it had some really cool things that I think will be interesting to people. But we're going to talk about the Popeyes and the mailings and the personal notes and all of those things that make it a personal relationship with the client. So it gets more fun once we get the data in. So hope you have a fantastic weekend, and happy Mother's Day. If you're not a mom, you probably have a furry animal, or you have a mom, so everybody gets to celebrate Mother's Day. And hope you have a wonderful weekend and get lots of love.
Thank you, Heidi. This was great.
Thanks,
Have a
guys.
good
See you later.
weekend.
Bye.
Take care.